Today I'll take up Not Marble, Not the Gilded Monuments by Shakespeare. I'll explain. First, I'll take up the difficult words and then take up the explanation of the lines. Like Shakespeare's poem, Shall I Compare Thee? This poem is also dedicated to his friend and is remarkable for its prophetic note. In this poem, the poet points out that nothing is immortal in this world. The marble statues, the huge buildings and grand palaces, and even the beautiful, splendid monuments erected in the memory of great kings and princes are not permanent. They will all be ruined one day either by wars or in course of time. Nothing can escape from the cruel hands of time except the creations of poets and writers. Time and space has no effect on the verses of poets, on the poetry of poets. The poet, claims the immortality of his verse. He says, verse means this present poem, the poems, and also other poems which he has written. In the previous poem that you have read, Shall I Compare Thee? In that poem also he talks about the eternal lines of the sonnet of the poem. He says that as long as civilization exists in the world, people will read his poems. So the poet's friend will also be remembered by the people of all the generations to come because he has been portrayed in his verse. The memory of his friend will be transferred from one generation to another till the day of judgment. तो एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर ऑल्सो, उन्होंने जो है अपनी पोएम के माध्यम से अपने पोएट को, जो अपने जो फ्रेंड है उसको इमॉर्टल किया है, और साथ ही साथ उन्होंने अब जो है डिफरेंस बताया है लाइफ और आर्ट में, किस तरह से आर्ट जो है वो लाइफ को कैप्चर कर लेती है और जो है वो परमानेंट हो जाता है. अब ये पोएम जो इन्होंने अपनी दोस्त की याद में लिखी है वो भी इमॉर्टल इस मायने में हो गई है कि उस पोएम को जनरेशन से पढ़ा जा रहा है. तो दिस इज़ द substance of the poem, the main idea of the poem. Now I'll read out the lines to you. Not marble, not the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive the powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. Marble, you all know Sangmarmar, marble stone which is used for making statue. Gilded, golden, besmeared with gold, सोने से मढ़ा हुआ. Outlive, to live more than, to live beyond, बाद तक रहना. Rhyme is the poem. You means friend of Shakespeare. These contents means the subject matter of the poem. Sluttish is dirty time. Everything, why dirty time? Because with time everything gets dirty, becomes faded and becomes besmeared with dust and filth. So these are the opening lines of the poem. The poem is, as I told you, dedicated to his friend. The poet says that great kings and princes have built great buildings, huge palaces and golden statues. Means they have made great palaces made of marble and monuments, also great buildings and statues studded with gold. They want to make their names permanent through them, through these buildings and monuments. What do the kings? They want to make their names permanent, but their desire the poet says, will not be fulfilled. In the course of time, these precious, beautiful, splendid, graceful monuments will become, faded, obscure, and dirty. They will be ruined one day. They will be, in ruin means khandair ban jana. They will be ruined one day. Though everything will die and decay, yet the name of the poet's friend will survive forever, because he has, written this verse in the memory of the friend, and so long as the poem will be read for generations, his friend will continue to be remembered. He will become immortal through the poet's verses. When wasteful was, shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor mars his show, nor mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. So, as I told you, besmeared, covered with, wasteful is that waste everything, है ना, जो सबको जो है वो ruin कर देती है, ख़राब कर देती है. स्टैचूज, मूर्तियाँ. ब्रॉयल्स, बैटल्स. रूट आउट, टू डिस्ट्रॉय कंप्लीटली. मेसनरी, जो पत्थर का काम होता है उसको बोलते हैं. द लिविंग रिकॉर्ड ऑफ योर मेमोरी. व्हाट इज़ द लिविंग रिकॉर्ड ऑफ योर मेमोरी हियर? पोस्टेरिटी, आने वाली पीढ़ी. The poet says that nothing is immortal in the world. All meet the same fate, and the fate is, decay and destruction. At the time of war, what happens? There is great destruction of both man and material, of both man and property. So, in this way, wars are wasteful. Everything, goes to ruin. They destroy. They means here wars. Wars, destroy statues and other works of art. When there are battles going on, we find that soldiers destroy the property of their enemies. Buildings and monuments are destroyed by war, but the memory of the poet's friend will survive in this immortal verse. Neither sword, he says, nor fire will destroy the memory of the poet's friend. So, nor Mars his sword, nor war quick fire shall burn. So, Mars is the god of war, who is shown as having, sword in his hand. So, he says, nothing will be able to destroy this immortal verse, and in this way, no one will, be able to end his friend's memory. Whereas death ends, everything, but death will not end his friend's memory. The poet's friend's memory will live forever. People will not be able to forget him, because he will live in immortal verses of the poet. So he says, neither war nor fire, means nothing will be able to destroy the memory of the poet, and he will, of the friend, and he will be immortal. Against death and all oblivious enemy shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room. He says, all oblivious means some which, makes something forgetful. So he says, the living record of your memory against death and all oblivious enmity. All oblivious, जब सब कुछ भुला देने वाली. So what is he saying? That with proud and glory, the memory of the poet's friend will go ahead against death and against enmity, which forgets which forgets everyone and everybody. So he will not be a victim of obliviousness or forgetfulness, because he has been immortalized in the, you know, in this verse. So, and shall you pace forth, you shall go ahead, you has been used for the friend. He with pride and glory, he will go forth, he will continue to go ahead. Your praise shall still find room, and you will be praised. Room means place, जगह, और उनकी जो तारीफ़ है वो हमेशा जगह जगह बनाए रखेंगी. He is praising, the speaker or the poet is praising his friend in this poem, and so his praise will always find a place in the poem, even in the eyes of all posterity in the coming generations. So the praise of the poet's friend will find place in the eyes of all the generations to come, that wear this world out to the ending doom. This is believed in Christianity, that there will be the doomsday, and that will be the day of judgment, when Jesus Christ will confer his judgment upon mankind, and accordingly they will be given reward and पनिशमेंट. तो डूम है जो आखिरी दिन आएगा, जिसको अपने हमारे यहाँ बोलते हैं प्रलय. तो वो जो प्रलय का दिन होगा वो आखिरी दिन होगा, और उसमें जो है जीसस क्राइस्ट जो है वो अपना जजमेंट देंगे, और उसके अनुसार सबके भाग्य का फैसला होगा. सो ही सेज, द पोएट सेज दैट हिज फ्रेंड विल कंटिन्यू टू लिव टिल द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. जब तक कि प्रलय आने तक वो जो है वो हमेशा उनकी जगह बनी रहेगी, किसमें? लोगों की आँखों में, सम्मान की. सो टिल द जजमेंट दैट योर सेल्फ अराइज, यू लिव इन दिस एंड ड्वेल इन लवर्स आइज. सो ही सेज टिल द डे ऑफ जजमेंट. टिल द डे ऑफ जजमेंट, जब जो है भगवान जो जीसस क्राइस्ट जो है सबके भाग्य का फैसला करेंगे, और तब तक जो है वो क्या होगा? दैट वेयर इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दिस, ही सेज, द एडमायरर्स ऑफ द पोएट विल रीड हिज नेम इन द वर्सेस composed by the poet. His name will remain in the memory of people till the last day of judgment. So you live in this means in this poem. You will continue to live in this poem, and live, dwell means live, in the eyes of the lovers, in the eyes of the readers who will continue to love you. So till that, till the day of judgment, the poet says he will continue to live in the eyes of the people who will praise his friend, and he will continue to live, and in this way he immortalizes his friend through this verse. Thank you.